Good morning, ladies. Today is Thursday, May 23rd, 2019. I am 31 weeks and 5 days pregnant. Um, I updated you early in the week, so I'm just going to come and give another quick update. I had a doctor's appointment yesterday, and it was okay. She was a little rushed, and I hadn't really experienced that with her before. I really do like my doctor. I'm trying to just keep that in mind. But as we get further along in this pregnancy, and I feel like I need to talk a little more, I felt like she was definitely more rushed in her visit yesterday. I guess the good thing is that because I am so far into the pregnancy, I will be going back to the doctor's office in 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks so every 2 weeks until I'm 36 weeks, and from 36 weeks every week, which sounds like it's not too far off, right? Because I'm already almost 32 weeks, so it'll be over before I know it. But yeah, so I will see, well, I won't see her again in 2 weeks. I'll see a different doctor. So the way that this place works, and maybe they all work like this, I don't know, is that as you get further along, you can opt to do rotation to see some of the other OBs that are on staff, because they may be the one who is on call when you actually go into labor or whatever your situation is. Um, so I'm going to see, for my 33-week visit, I will see a different doctor. And then again, at 35 weeks, I'll see another doctor. And then I'll go back to her for 36 weeks. And then I'm not sure if I'll see her at 37 or, 38, but she'll fit herself in, or maybe I'll still see some of the other doctors. Not sure. But, I have a lot of doctor's appointments. So yeah, so doing that every 2 weeks up until 36 weeks, when it becomes every week. And then because my blood pressure had been whatever during this pregnancy, sometimes up, sometimes down, and great, perfect, sometimes not so perfect. So yesterday it was okay. I mean, it wasn't normal, and it was a little annoying because it's my fault. I rushed to the doctor's office, and the thing about this place is there's really no wait when you get there. Like, when you get there, that I don't know, somehow they're able to take you back immediately. Maybe that's why she was so rushed, because they see people so quickly. I don't really know, but so I left from work to go to the doctor's office, and I have a bad habit of either getting places exactly on time or a little bit late. And because I literally work maybe 5 minutes walking from the hospital, my office is literally a 5 minute walk from there. I kind of pushed it. The appointment was at 3, and I pushed it into the last minute to leave the office, because I was busy running my mouth about something. And I got there. Actually, I actually left a little after 3. Left the office because I didn't get to the doctor's office until 3:10, which was fine. But they took me back almost immediately, and then they wanted to take my blood pressure, and I said, if we could wait a little bit. But they were like, oh, we'll just, we'll take it now, and they took it, and so it was a little high. It was 130 over 87, which is not really, really high, but it's a little high when you think 120 over 80 is normal. So it wasn't like crazy high, but it was a little high. So I don't know, but it's not always high. My last visit, it was like 116 over 70 something. So I don't know. And I did say to them, and I even told the doctor, that I think if we wait a few minutes, it might go down a little bit, because I made the mistake of rushing there. Where the time when I got there and it was 116 over 70, I had a nice little leisurely walk, and I didn't rush. So I'm going to try to make sure for the next visits that I have, I am not rushing, and so they can get what I feel to be a little more accurate. Because when I take my blood pressure at home, it has never been high. And I do explain that to them. I mean, they don't care because they only go by what they have there. But I just try to explain that to them. And I don't know if it's like white coat syndrome partially, where I get a little nervous about it, because I'm always a little nervous when I take my blood pressure, because I'm not sure what it will end up being. And I know that a lot is riding on the blood pressure. I thank God I haven't gone into preeclampsia or anything like that, and I hope that continues. But you know, if given that my blood pressure has been sometimes high, sometimes not high, I now have to go and do ultrasound testing like every week. And I didn't realize it was going to be every week. I thought it was going to be every 2 weeks. I guess it's not a real big deal, but it's now every week. So starting at 32 weeks, which is next week, and I already had an ultrasound scheduled for the 29th, a growth scan ultrasound scheduled for the 29th. So from that week, every week, they will, until delivery, I have to go and get some sort of ultrasound type test. So I don't think they're full ultrasounds, because some will be growth and some will be checking the fluids, and make sure that the fluid levels, and make sure that the placenta is still working, because when your blood pressure is high, and if you get preeclampsia and you're in danger of preeclampsia, even if you don't have preeclampsia, but even when you're like in danger, I guess, which is what I am, I guess, the placenta, especially as you enter the end of the pregnancy or come up on the end of the pregnancy, the placenta could become tired, so to speak, and stop functioning as well, in which case they would need to deliver also. So, and you can Google more about that, but it's just the placenta, I think, doesn't, I guess, provide the nutrients and fluids as well, possibly. I mean, that doesn't have to happen, but that is something that could happen. So they're going to starting next week, checking me every week to make sure that the placenta is still, the fluid levels are where they were supposed to be, the placenta is doing what it's supposed to do, and that the baby is growing the rate it's supposed to grow. Now, as far as I'm concerned, baby is huge. I feel like I'm all baby. Maybe I got my face filled out a little bit. I don't know. I really don't want to hear that it did, because I think, I didn't want to blow up, but maybe it did. When I look at some of my older videos, it's hard for me to tell, but it might be a little bit. I know that my feet and legs are definitely a lot more swollen. I have more back fat, and back fat is the worst because it's hard to get off. So I don't know. I'm hoping that, when the baby comes, it'll take its back fat with it, or maybe I can try to get rid of it. But back fat is always very stubborn. At least I find it to be. And definitely, my tummy now. So, I've seen changes. Oh, and I think my arms might have gotten a little fuller. So that's like a full body change, right? And of course, that is what pregnancy does to a lot of women. For as far as my weight, it was, I'm gaining like a pound a week, and I don't know if that's really normal. My doctor's kind of like, a pound a week, I guess that's fine. Now, overall, since the very beginning, I've gained a total of 17 pounds. But when you take into consideration the swelling, the constipation, the chronic constipation, you retain so much fluid, your blood vessels are more open, especially as you get further along. Your baby has more weight, the placenta has more weight. So there's a lot going on that adds weight. But I had originally said I was only going to gain 15 pounds. So I'm already 2 pounds over that. And I have at most 8 weeks, maybe 6 weeks if they induce at 38 weeks. I don't know. But I still have, possibly another 6 to 8 pounds to go. So if I'm given that I'm gaining at the rate of a pound a week. So we'll see. I'm not happy about that. But if like the majority of it goes away with the baby, then that'll be fine. I've always struggled to try to keep my weight a certain way, and I still work out. I still work out 6 days a week. It's a lot harder. I know I'm not as big as some women get at this stage in the pregnancy, but I definitely feel it even if I don't look it, and it's a lot harder, and I get winded a lot quicker, always shortness of breath, and just tiring out a lot quicker. So yeah, it's I still work out, and I'm trying my best to stay active as long as I possibly can, but it definitely does get harder. So, and I walk a lot too. So you think about it, if I'm working out and I walk a lot, I mean, I walk over, I don't know, a couple, maybe, I don't know, a couple of miles a day, maybe like 2 miles a day. Um, I mean, I'm not saying that's a ton, but that's enough, right? That's a lot. That's, that's in addition to my workout. So if I wasn't doing all that, you would think that I'd be a lot bigger, I think, so I'm already, and even with all that, I'm still gaining a pound a week. I also don't eat a ton because my heartburn has been really bad. And I did talk to the doctor about that. And she said that it was okay to take, Prilosec, Zantac, I think even Pepcid AC. I've been taking Zantac and I told her that. And she said you can take it up to twice a day. Thank God, because I was already doing that. So I told her, I was like, listen, I have to take it before I go to sleep. And I take it in the morning. So I was already taking the Zantac twice a day. To work with the heartburn. I explained to her that the heartburn is really bad, and I get heartburn with almost everything I eat. It is not, I can't find a trigger food because almost all food is trigger food. I had a little bit of applesauce one day. It gave me, heartburn right away. It's almost everything I eat. So I really don't know what the culprit is other than the baby just being in the way of my digestion. And that's really, the stomach and the being pushed up and the intestines and all that, and that's what leads to the constipation and the heartburn and indigestion and all those fun digestive issues. So that was what she told me in regards to that. I talked a little bit about a birth plan. She said I don't have to have a birth plan. I mean, I don't know really what a birth plan is. I mean, I don't know if I want to do, so earlier I said I wanted to have an epidural, and I'm for some reason on a fence. I don't know if I want to have an epidural. A lot of people, I think I let people in reading things kind of scare me a little bit, because sometimes when I was reading things, people would say that if you have epidural, you'll have back problems later. And I did talk to the doctor about this yesterday, and she said that the people are often confused thinking about the epidurals that they had years ago, that the epidurals now are very safe, and that's not the case. That she said it doesn't mean you won't have any pain in your back. You may have pain for up to a couple of weeks, a little bit of pain, but you're not going to have long-term back issues from the epidural. And the risk of paralysis, which I wasn't even thinking about, is very minor. So I don't know whether I want to have epidural or not. I don't know if I want to do natural. Do I want to try to go for it naturally, or do I want to do an epidural? I really don't know. I don't necessarily want to have to make the decision right now. Part of me wants to be open to what happens. I do know if you're not in a position to get an epidural, you can't get an epidural, but I don't want to wait too long in my labor to where I can't get the epidural. So I don't know what to do. I don't want to come right away. And well, originally I said I wanted to go in and be like, hey, give me that medication and not feel any of this. But then part of me thinks maybe I should feel it, but I don't know how much of the pain I could actually deal with. I don't know. I mean, I've never done it before. I know as a woman, your body is designed to do this, but part of me is like, why deal with the pain if you don't have to? Then the other part is like, maybe it's better if you do it. I've been reading a lot about tearing and the perineal massage and stuff like that. And some of the suggestions to avoid tearing is, doing that massage and doing various stretches that'll help stretch that area and really prepping it for delivery if you're going to have a vaginal delivery. So some of the things, like people said, to try to, if you're doing a water birth, which the hospital doesn't offer, so that's fine. I wasn't really all into that anyway. Some people say it's good to keep that area moist during labor, and maybe put warm compresses down there during labor to help blood flow and to help it become a little stretchy. Some people said they squirt oil in there, for the for the pushing part, so kind of help stretch it. But you can, I think most of the time they recommend between 32 to 34 weeks starting the perineal massage, which you definitely need to Google to figure that out, because it's a lot of rubbing and a massaging of the perineum, which is the area between the vagina opening and the anus opening. So it's that little weird piece of skin, and the fact that that can even tear is beyond me. Like, how is that possible? I mean, it seems pretty intact. I didn't know it could rip, and then it can rip down to your anus, right? So you just be through and through. So go. I don't want to think about it, but and sometimes people rip all up. Let's just not. Let's just not. But yeah, so I'm trying to avoid any of that. Now, so I think I'm going to start trying the perineal massage maybe next week at 32 weeks after I figure it out. Sometimes it's easier if you have a partner to have your partner help you, but you don't have to have a partner to do it. So I don't know. I might try it myself. Just, I don't know. We'll see. I'll let you know if I do it. And then I don't. My doctor said, you have to do it every day to really see some benefits. But she also said that if you don't do it, it's not a big deal. Like, she also said that as a first-time mom, I will probably tear. So she said there will be some tearing. That's very common, especially for first-time moms. So I don't know. I'm terrified of the tearing, but I don't even know if it'll be a vaginal birth, because if my blood pressure doesn't cooperate, if the placenta for some reason becomes tired, so to speak, then they will end up doing a C-section. If they do a C-section, then all of that is unnecessary, because it doesn't involve your vagina at all. And if my blood pressure doesn't cooperate, they'll induce at 38 weeks. So I don't know, and I guess it's like a lot of women, you don't always know how it's going to work out. You go in thinking it'll be one thing and it ends up being another thing. So I'm going to try to prepare for a vaginal, and I will accept if it has to be a C-section. Although I don't want that, because I'm not really interested in the scar, unless they want to do a little tummy tuck while they're in there. But I don't think that's how it works. So, yeah, I mean, take out whatever when you're going, take out whatever this baby left behind so I can get my tummy back. But, so I'm just trying to prepare for all possibilities here. Yeah, other than that, I mean, that's really the end of her visit. Her visit was very quick. She heard the baby's heartbeat. I mean, we talked about teas and things that could probably help with labor, like red raspberry or something, or other teas. I've been seeing a lot of teas online, to which she dismissed and said, I don't know anything about it. Of course, I mean, this is Western and medicine versus, some more, non-traditional, I guess you would call them different types of thinking with, things you can do. So she didn't know about those things. So whatever. In regards to my asthma, I did mention that because I have the shortness of breath. She wants me to see a doctor. I mean, the shortness of breath is somewhat normal when you're pregnant, but sometimes I told her I wake up in the middle of the night wheezing. Now, that's not gasping for air. So I don't know if you ever had asthma, you may know what a little wheezing is. A little bit of wheezing is nothing major. I use my inhaler. I'm usually fine to go back to sleep. But she wants to make sure my oxygen levels are fine. So then I had to make another doctor's appointment with another doctor on June 5th. So the week of June 3rd, I will have like 3 doctor's appointments. I'll have a doctor's appointment with her office. I'll have a doctor's appointment with a doctor, internal medicine doctor, and I'll have an ultrasound. Like, it'll be a crazy week. That week, but yeah, it's just a lot as you enter into the end of pregnancy. If you have any additional possible issues, you just have a lot of doctor's appointments. I think they were going to do this anyway, because they keep telling me I'm old since I'm 36, and I do take that. I try to brush it off because it's not that old. It's not old for life, right? But apparently it's old to be a mama, or to start being a mama, or to being your first pregnancy, or any pregnancy at that. They just act like, oh my God, you're old. So I wanted to ask people before I end this video, what do you think of maternity photo shoots? I have one scheduled for June 14th. I would like to do it, but I'm not sure. I don't really feel too attractive. I also don't know if it's a waste of money. Like when we got married, we did this big photo thing. I had everything videotaped, tons of pictures, and I never really even got the pictures. And that was my fault. It had nothing to do with the photographer. I mean, they offered it. At this point, I'd have to just buy all the photo, like just buy their whole thing. But I never even got the albums. And then they gave us some pre-album albums that were like albums, but they were just with all the proofs, and I almost just used those, but then I haven't looked at them. I couldn't tell you last time I looked at them. So will maternity photos be worth it? Should I do the photo shoot? Like I said, I have one scheduled for June 14th. I don't have a dress yet, because when I look at the videos or the pictures of the maternity photo shoots, women are often in these, like, gowns and different things. I don't have one yet. I'm just trying to figure out, should I do it? Will I regret not doing it if I don't do it? So that's why will I look at the photos? I just want to make sure I do that, or not miss out on it, or don't do it if it's a waste. So I don't feel strongly about it. I did schedule the appointment a while back, but I don't feel strongly like I can go either way. Another question I have for you ladies, especially the ladies who've done this before, is whether I need a belly band or a postpartum like support band for my belly, like right after delivery, because I was reading that some women were putting this in their hospital bags, and I was thinking, are you literally slipping yourself into this after you give birth, whether it's vaginal or C-section or what have you? Is that what you're supposed to do? Are you allowed to do that? Should I get one? And if so, which one? Like, no one tells me these things. I don't know. You read some things, and then there's hundreds of options online. There's some that I think could be covered by insurance, but you have to check with your insurance. I don't even know if they're covered by my insurance, but how quickly do you put on something like that? Is it immediately, like, baby's out, let me strap this thing on? Or is it, you wait until you get home, or a few weeks after you've been home? Like, how quickly do you need it? So those are just some questions. If someone out there has the answer, let me know. I was hoping that after the baby is out, you might want to be free for a little bit without the restrictiveness, but maybe you feel like you need that extra support. I don't know. But just let me know your thoughts. And thank you for watching and for listening and to me rant about stuff. And I will update you next week. And next week I have an ultrasound, so I'll probably wait until that's on the 29th, which I believe is Wednesday. I believe that's Wednesday. Yeah. So I'll probably update you after that, unless something interesting happens before then. All right, ladies. Talk to you soon. Bye.